I will now recognize Honorable Letlape.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the Speaker. I ask myself, through 6 parliaments, 30 years, what have we achieved? And what I get is that in that period, we are number 1 in terms of being the most unequal society in the world. We have taken apartheid to new heights. We are a violent country, as we testified against ourselves in the White House. We are probably getting to a point now where we will be more violent than war-torn areas. We are a nation where a chant of kill a farmer, kill a Boer has been normalized. And as a member of Action SA, where our leader in Parliament is a white farmer, I find that offensive. And I don't know where these budgets will take us when we are the society that we are. We talk about being the voice of the people, but that voice is not with the people. How can you be a voice of the people when you are not with them? We sit with a health infrastructure that is falling apart. We talk about everyone entitled to healthcare, and our public facilities are collapsing because of that. And we will not be seen dead in those public facilities. We talk about a freedom charter that is 70 years old. Even in the Bible, after 70, you die. Now they say this country belongs to all who live in it. We've turned our townships into refugee camps. And unless at the top we begin to discuss about those issues, we are asking for a budget to continue what has been done by 6 parliaments without having a discussion of what went wrong and how do we fix it. We sit here when we are a divided country. Even when we speak of a government of national unity, they become a prime example of disunity. We are the ones sent here by the parties elected by the people. Unless we have a different conversation, we are funding a calamity. You cannot come and ask for more money to do the same thing and hope you're going to get different results. Ain't gonna happen. We've now normalized shortfalls in budget. Parliament is being given a 10% shortfall in budget. Now let me tell you, a shortfall in a budget, if you vote for it, you are voting for failure. We see that transmitted through all our ministries. There's no money for this. There's no money for this. And we wonder why our government is failing. We need to have a strategic discussion about leading and not outsource a dialogue about changing the direction of South Africa to people that are not elected. We need to have that discussion. As Action SA, we will not support this budget because supporting a shortfall budget is to support failure.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I will now recognize Honorable Zungula.
Diabulela. The critical discussion, Speaker, that we must have, it is the funding model of Parliament. Currently, it is the executive that determines the budget for Parliament, and the same executive accounts to Parliament. It is amiss that an institution that accounts to this House is the one that determines how much money is allocated to this House, including to do its work, including holding it accountable. Equally, the budget allocated to Parliament has been reduced, and that incapacitates Parliament from fulfilling its constitutional obligations. Parliament is an important institution, especially in the context of where we are as a country, and it must not be passive in addressing the issues facing the country. As the legislative arm of the state, it is crucial that laws are amended to correct the challenges that are facing the country. It must be proactive by driving genuine amendments to the Constitution to fulfill the aspirations of our forefathers who fought for a country that identifies with them, a country where the mineral wealth benefits the citizens. We can't have a constitution that is defined by negotiation and compromised. We must amend Section 25 of the Constitution to ensure that land restitution is from 6 April 1652 and that foreigners only lease land and they are not allowed to own land in South Africa, and the mineral wealth of the country is owned by the citizens. Land theft from before 1913 is currently protected by the Constitution, and the Parliament is not doing anything to correct this. The name of the country must be changed to get rid of the colonial and apartheid identity that is imposed on us. The Constitution must be explicit in affirming the rights of the citizens. Therefore, everyone in the Constitution must be replaced with citizens. Section 19 of the Constitution must be amended to ensure citizens only with SA citizenship stand for public office. People with dual citizenship and those who are naturalized have got split loyalties, and they must never be given the responsibility of leading this country. And most importantly, South Africa can't belong to everyone who lives in it. There is no country that allows such things. This country belongs to citizens, and the Constitution must affirm that. Speaker, the people are very clear on what is to be done. Therefore, the public participation process must not be a box-ticking exercise. There are instances whereby Parliament ignores and undermines the voice of the people. The budget must speak to the core issues that are affecting the people and that require legislative changes. We can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Parliament must deal with the fundamental issue, Speaker, which is the amendment of the Constitution. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I'll now recognize Honorable Ghana.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, fellow South Africans. The question before us today is not simply how much money Parliament receives, but what we do with it, and whether South Africans believe it is being well spent. Parliament has been allocated just under 3.6 billion rand this year, and this is to oversee a budget of over 2 trillion rands. But this moment demands far more than rands and cents. It demands integrity, courage, and commitment from every one of us sitting in this house. What do South Africans expect from their public representatives? They want honesty, they want accountability, they want visible and principled action. They want a parliament that does not whisper or tiptoe when the executive overreaches, but one that holds the executive to account without fear or favor. We must admit, honorable members, trust in public institutions is eroding fast. People have lost faith in Parliament. They have lost faith in us. They are losing faith in democratic politics. Some are even wishing for some benevolent dictatorship in South Africa. And they are watching closely, more than ever before, because of technology and digital platforms. We see that no committee, no statement, no silence goes unnoticed. Too often, this parliament has been seen as too soft on the executive, too soft on the heads of state-owned enterprises, too soft on officials who fail to deliver. That must end. This budget must help restore Parliament's backbone. We need sharper, stronger scrutiny and a Parliament that acts as a true counterweight to executive power. But let me just say this, that we are starting to see things change, especially in the last 6 months. We are beginning to regain the trust of the people. The work, for instance, that Honorable Zibi does as a chairperson of SCOPA has not gone unnoticed. His diligence has sparked a wave of requests for intervention from municipalities, SOEs, and even whistleblowers. That is what trust looks like. Let us build on this momentum. A working parliament is our best tool for building a safe, prosperous, equal, and united South Africa in one generation. The people of South Africa deserve nothing less. Parliament must work, and it is up to us to make it work. Let's rise to the moment.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
It was a fiery afternoon in Parliament, not because of the weather, but because the debate over Vote 2, Parliament's own budget, turned into a national mirror. What was supposed to be a discussion about financial allocations quickly became a loud cry from several MPs who voiced what millions of South Africans feel every single day: frustration, betrayal, and desperation. The chamber was tense as speakers took to the podium. Some spoke in favor of the budget, praising Parliament's efforts to modernize operations and improve oversight. But others weren't buying it. They called it window dressing, while the real problems, corruption, illegal immigration, and unemployment, are tearing the country apart. One of the most powerful moments came when an MP bluntly asked, "How can we approve a budget for an institution that has failed to protect the very people who sent us here?" The silence that followed that question was deafening. It wasn't just political theater, it was truth. Parliament is meant to be the heart of democracy, yet ordinary South Africans are struggling to trust that it beats for them. Another speaker highlighted corruption, accusing the institution of turning a blind eye to reports and evidence laid bare by whistleblowers and commissions. They said South Africans are tired of commissions of inquiry that cost billions and deliver nothing. "We don't want reports, we want consequences," they shouted, and you could feel the electricity in the room. Then came the issue of illegal immigration. MPs from different parties brought up how porous borders and lack of enforcement have created a shadow society where undocumented people slip through the cracks. They warned that the state is losing control over who enters and who stays, and this has a direct impact on public services, safety, and social cohesion. One megapixel from the opposition said, "Our communities are not xenophobic. They are desperate. They are fighting for basic resources and jobs. And we, in this House, have ignored them for too long." The topic of unemployment sparked even more outrage. With youth unemployment now dangerously high, some MPs demanded to know what Parliament is doing to ensure government departments are hiring fairly and transparently. A speaker asked, "Why do our graduates remain unemployed while connected individuals get hired overnight?" That statement drew loud murmurs of agreement from across the aisle. A particularly emotional plea came from an MP who grew up in a township now plagued by crime, drugs, and joblessness. She said, "When you drive into Parliament, you pass beggars, car guards, and people selling fruit just to survive. How can we debate budgets while pretending not to see them?" But perhaps the most telling part of the debate was the public gallery, half empty. Ordinary citizens have tuned out, because many feel nothing changes no matter what is said in that room. And that's the real crisis. The disconnection between Parliament and the people has grown dangerously wide. As the debate wrapped up, one megapixel issued a challenge: let this budget not be a reward for failure. Let it be a wake-up call. If Parliament cannot hold government accountable, then what are we even budgeting for? And that's the real takeaway. This wasn't just a debate about rands and cents, it was a reflection of where South Africa stands right now. A nation crying out for leadership, action, and most importantly, truth. So the question remains, will this Parliament rise to the occasion, or will it become just another well-funded monument to broken promises? Only time, and action, will tell.